Hi there. Thank you for joining me. I'm delighted today to be joined by Olga Lanovyk. Olga and I met fairly recently at the Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity, where we talked about the situation in Ukraine and the war between Ukraine and Russia. Olga comes from an agency background. She worked in agencies such as BBDO and the Urbanettes before ending up running Saatchi and Saatchi in Kyiv. Olga's life was turned upside down with the Russian invasion on the 24th of February. We wanted to bring a human side to the story, and Olga has very kindly agreed to talk about the situation she finds herself in now and how she got to where she is at the moment. Olga, it's lovely to see you again.
Well, thanks for such a kind introduction. Nice to see you again.
No, my pleasure. So Olga, I mean, just for the people who weren't with us in Cannes, I mean, could you maybe just tell us a little bit about your life before the war started back at the beginning of this year?
Thanks, Paul, for asking. Yeah, well, I could say that by that point, my life was quite good balance, and I have reached to the very good life balance to which I was working very hard. And I just recently switched into the project base with Tabasco. I used to work with an amazing team. I could develop myself in a new professional skills, as well as with my personal interest like tennis and culinary. I was participating in amateur tennis tournament. I was organizing tournaments. I was up to open my little business of healthy sweets. In general, I was happy, full of ideas, energy, and dreams person. But just by February 24th, on February 24th, everything changed. Like, you know, life before and new life after.
So on the 24th, I mean, we obviously sort of sat here in the UK and other countries around the world and were shocked by the invasion, and it probably wasn't a total surprise because it had been building up. But what went through your mind on February the 24th when you heard the news that the Russians had come across the border?
Honestly, there were a lot of talks before, but nobody believed that in the 21st century we can have war in the center of Europe. No me, no my family, nobody from my friends or business circle thought that we can have aggression from just our brothers, what we called before. And I still can't believe that people like me, but in Russia, with some of them I used to work just 10 years ago, now can be the part of those 87% who is supporting war and the genocide of my people in my country. I still can't believe, but it is as it is. Nobody even messaged me with a question mark, what's going on? For me, silence means support, sorry. And I was not prepared. I just came back from the business trip. I had a lot of meetings with a local businessman for the new business development. So there were no like thoughts that it's going to happen with us.
And I mean, I can't begin to imagine, I mean, because I've never been through this, how one would deal with this. But, you know, you took a big decision to leave Ukraine for your safety. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about how you arrived at that decision and the journey you then took?
On the February 24th, I was in Kyiv at my home. I woke up from the sounds of explosions and I still couldn't believe. And I got a lot of phone calls and I switched on the TV and all news, everybody heard that the war had begun. So it was a little bit panic inside because I don't know how to be prepared for that. I never was in the situation like this, so it was a little bit shock, but then I stayed in Kyiv for quite a long time, like first 10 days of the war, because I still believe that one day and it's gonna finish. I couldn't believe that it's gonna stretch so widely and so deep into the country. So I spent 10 days in underground bunker without no sleep, hearing the explosions. And one night actually was very shocking. We were sitting in the underground, and it's when the street fights began. We were sitting underground, and we heard the gunshots, and we heard the loud knocking right into the door on the place where we were sitting. And on that moment, I heard how my heart beats in my head, and I looked at the moms who were holding their kids tightly. We couldn't even cry. We just prayed. It's for the first time in my life, I was thinking that my life might end. And on the next day, I saw that there are very little women left in the building, that they were staying for 10 days, but in one day, just people start leaving. It was a day when a lot of Russian tanks were coming to Kiev, and Russians were going to encircle the Kiev. And many people called me and told me that, Olga, it could be your last chance to leave Kiev, today or never. So I took my neighbor, she's a pregnant woman with an 8-year-old son, and we just went to nowhere. 7 days driving with almost no food, sleeping in the car, no gas, cold outside, -10. We couldn't even switch on the car because we could be a live target for the Air Force. Horrible, but it's almost the same what millions of people, women, old women, kids, little kids, pregnant women went through these times. And it's horrible to hear that it's happening with us. Finally, when we ended up in France, it was the only real plan from my ex-colleague from international agency who lives in America, and he gives a key from his house to stay a little bit here, just to say and think what to do next. So we're here, we're taking care about each other. I'm trying to help my new family, and in the same time, I'm trying to find a job. It's the only thing I need now to work.
And you mentioned that you left Kiev with your neighbor. I mean, are you in contact with many of your friends from Ukraine still, or is it difficult to get hold of people?
Yes, of course. A lot of people I used to work or contact in different my other interests and my friends. They're still in Kiev, mostly men, because men cannot leave country. And a lot of people I used to work, like my suppliers, they're technicals, and they're mostly men. So they're still in Kiev. Some of them are on the territory groups, like taking care about the districts of a city. So they are still in Kyiv. I'm in contact with them, and I'm so happy that last week I could help one of my suppliers to connect with a British company, and now they are negotiating to develop the e-commerce site for UK. I'm so happy that I could help people to get a job.
No, that's amazing. I mean, do you when you look at the news that you see in France at the moment that's coming out of Ukraine? I mean, what more do you think that people in the creative industry, which of course is our market, could possibly do to help your fellow country people?
I think that people. From my experience, I tried to find a job from France, any job. Like I understand that I need to prove myself on a new place, on a new business. So I was looking for any simple, smaller job, easier job, just to start work and to prove myself as a professional. And I found it quite difficult because I feel, people don't say, but I feel that this temporary status makes people afraid to employ people on the long-term contract. I'm not talking about technicals. Technicals, people like designers, developers, they are mostly freelancers, and they are very, very in demand. Our professionals, Ukrainian technical professionals, in demand. Their price probably relatively less, but they deliver very high quality work. But for managers like me, even in Ukraine, I made a successful career. I have a good name. For the last 20 years, I was not searching for a job because I proved my reputation and people wanted to work for me. Sorry to say that, but I feel like I didn't need to search for a job. And now I need to search for any job to prove myself. I'm ready for that, but I feel that people are afraid to take people on a temporary status to their staff. What is my message is don't afraid. Just try, because people are so hardworking. Now people are so much motivated to work hard, to make their livings, to help those who cannot work, to donate for army, for kids, for anybody. We are very motivated to work. We don't have roofs, we don't have food, so we need to work, and we can work and deliver the best quality of work. Actually, honestly, I'm shy and I'm embarrassed to take all financial support from different countries, because I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm physically healthy, I can work and I can earn for myself and I can benefit for others. So the main message is, please give us work. We will prove that we can deliver very good work.
I think that's a very clear message, Olga. And at the end of the day, it's about dignity and being able to, look after yourself. I think, I mean, looking forward, and I know we've talked a little bit about this between us. I mean, what are your personal plans, insofar as you can make them at the moment? What do you see yourself doing? I mean, return to Kiev, I suppose, at some point, but between now and then, what would you do? I mean, you're in France now, but go on.
Yes, as I told you before, when we met in Cannes, in perfect world, I would go home. I actually have all my bags packed in my car, and I really, any minute I can jump and go. I made the GPS route for 100 times, but last Sunday we woke up again with the news that Kiev was bombed, and the building where people live were destroyed. People died, and it's just a neighborhood district from me, and my neighbors told that even the windows were shaking in our building. So I don't know how to go home, how to cross the 1,000 kilometers from border to Kiev, because a lot of people with weapons, a lot of sudden military air force attacks on the shopping malls, on the roads, mostly all roads destroyed. So I'm thinking to move to the UK and to try to find a job there. At least I know English. I can try to search for a job and be with my daughter. My daughter lives in English, so this may be a family support, and reunion will give me more strength and motivation.
Fantastic. Olga, this is, as before, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I thank you again for your time. And if anyone's watching this who'd like to get in contact with Olga, what's the best way for people to reach you?
I think LinkedIn, email.
Yeah.
I can leave my WhatsApp, Telegram. So anyway, I'll be happy to hear from people. I think that I can be useful as an employee, for example, as a project manager in advertising agency or marketing agency or startup, or I can also be useful as a person who can give a very good database of great, amazing talents from Ukraine, where I used to work with. for different services like web design, like digital content development, like brand running on YouTube, a lot of creative technical works which can be done distantly. I can contact with an amazing talents who really can deliver an amazing job for relatively good price, and who really need now help and really need now work because they're in Kiev and they are trying to survive and to help others.
Cool. All right.
That would be amazing. That would be massive help for Ukrainians. Just we need it. All we need is work.
There you go. So if you're watching this, you heard it here. Please contact Olga. If you can't reach Olga, you can contact us, and we'll put the details on at the end of the video. Olga, thank you very much for sharing this with us again. I know it's not always easy to talk about this, but I think it's important to get it across. So thank you very much.